Right, the moment of truth. Got it back okay, and you saw the end of the video outside, and we got it in here. And Mark always looked after me like a star, he really has. And he was at the show yesterday again, of course, and he's let me come in here. And I came here, and he had got that trolley. I'll say this, I've told him 3 times publicly. I've never been looked after like this. He'd got this trolley with all his tools and everything ready for me, right? So I set to prepare to take the head off. So I took, well, you saw the rocker shaft was off, it was just laid on, and I got the injector pipes off. And I couldn't get the top hose off because I wasn't quite strong enough. But the job went quite well. I was only about an hour and a half, and that went quite well. So I've been a bit nervous because I've had to wait until today for them. Anyway, when Tom came home, I couldn't, obviously the head was stuck on very fast. Anyway, they've got the head off, so we can't show you that surprise, but I can show you it. And I've got away with it, basically. We're going to get away with it. It was number 3 piston, and I'm sure you can see from there is a little bit of damage around the piston, but that can clean up. And there is 2 bits embedded in the piston, and that's what was stopping it working when you saw when we turned it over, etc. But that's runnable, and the rest of the bores are not bad at all. You can see on that one, because it's been leaking a bit, and the middle 2 exhaust ports are Siamese, like Mark just pointed out, which I knew, but with one leaking, it's been sucking it into that one, so that's not quite as clean as number 1 and number 4. I'm sure you can see that in there, yes. And if you look, so they're all in pretty good condition. So basically I've escaped. That's the thing. We've escaped a disaster. Well, we've escaped a major disaster. It's still a disaster. So anyway, I'll now go and just show you the head and show you the problem. And I said at first that the valve head had fallen off, and then thinking later I thought, well, maybe a piece of the head of the valve has come off, and that is exactly what's happened, right? And that is exactly what's happened. So basically it's a head job. And I was going to buy 4 new exhaust valves, but he's got another head with very good valves in, which will clean up like new. If you remember me telling you, Mark was saying, do I want to swap the head because the head is slightly better? But no, because this is the original one, and with the I can't turn it over. It's too heavy for me to pick up, you see. So basically, as you can see, if you look what we were saying about, we're in daylight now, so you might be able to see. If you remember, like Mark just pointed out, because that valve there has been leaking, because it was the exhaust valve, and the exhaust, when the exhaust flap was open, I think I said that the water had got down, it was leaking very slightly. And I think what's happened is that one side of the valve, probably the side that's broken off, has been held open. It's been touching the valve seat. That's the valve seat. You know that, I'm just pointing out in case one or two don't know. That, so in effect, what's been happening is the valve has been closing like that with slight pressure on one side, which no doubt is that side. And so what's happened is that piece has broken off, and that's caused the problem. So now we'll have a proper clean up. And you know, as good as I can of the head, I can't do it quite as well as I would like because of circumstances, but I can do a good job. And I can certainly take all that home and at my leisure, you know, clean all that up properly, because that will be fine. And so the job's got to be done properly. So all we've got to need, basically, is a gasket set, a head set, and an oil filter and oil change. You know, so, oh, and a hose. We'll have new clips on, probably a couple of hoses, but nothing too serious, you know, nothing too serious. So there we are. Right, I don't know how long we got on here, not very long. Be a shortish video, but I told you I'd keep you updated as much as possible. And that's just what we're doing. So we found the problem, and although I wish I hadn't had it, I'm quite relieved actually, because you never know what you're going to find. And as you can see, it's that piston will clean up, and there's those pieces to get out, a valve to get out. If not, or even be left in flush. But anyway, it's quite a major job to take the sump off and take the piston out and probably get another piston, you see, which is unnecessary for what we're doing here. So we're not doing a bodge job, we're doing a proper job, but it'll be perfectly fine to do that. You know, we're not rebuilding the engine, we're getting it going. Okay, so there you go. It's not quite the disaster, it's a big disaster, but not quite the disaster that we were expecting. So I'm having a look around my tractor now, you know, around the engine, and then we just get clean up. And of course we've got that job to do. I think I've told you that bolt there was stripped, totally stripped, when we took that off to clean the filter. So took it out, put a longer bolt in, and it's grabbed 3 threads, but Malt's got another pump that doesn't work, so I've just got to swap the top body of the pump, and that'll be repaired. But I was going to do that when I came back from the show, and of course that's now not a problem, is it? You know, this is the problem. So all being well, we should be up and running again fairly soon. But as I say, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do as good a job as I possibly can under the circumstances, and we'll see how we go on. So the first thing you get to see me doing is the boring job of washing and cleaning the rocker shaft. Right, enough for now. We will see you soon.